Joe here, your reliability man, bridging the gap between best practices and your reality. Today's lean-driven reliability topic of the day is a question I got from 3 different people. What specifically would you do as a consultant? And this is from Heidi, Mark, and Dave. So, first of all, if you like what you're hearing, if this is a second or third or fourth video that you've watched, please hit subscribe so I know you're watching out there. It does motivate me as I see that number climb. Getting lots of viewers. I think we're roughly at 1,000 total viewers, but around 60 subscribers. So first thing, I would have a pre-site phone call. That's for the plant to share. What's their current state, what's their business case, what's their reason for change, review some critical KPIs. You know what I think of KPIs, but it's a start. It points you in the right direction, kind of like a little hound dog out in the woods chasing up rabbits so you can see them. So what are those critical KPIs and what the leadership opinions are of the next step? And really the purpose of this phone call is to get me thinking about your business. And that's just an hour, no charge at all for that. The second thing is a site visit for current state. The duration of this is dependent on the site, but I just kind of said, hey, a medium-sized plant. Number one, I got to travel there. So first day would be a kickoff with the lead team to discuss the plant and answer questions from that pre-meeting that we've had over the phone. And then I would have one-on-one meetings with each lead team member and key plant personnel. So anybody you deemed critical or key to how things run there, knowledgeable of how the plant operates. I definitely want to include, your operations people, your maintenance people, leaders. But don't forget about controller and HR, as well as union leadership. Everyone's perspective would be great input. Day 2 would be an observation day with myself and a plant SPA. Day 3 is a repeat of day 2, an observation day. What's reality? What do I see? What's the waste that I see at your plant, given the pre-notes? Day 4, spend about a half day observing and then rough out a draft of some leverage points with the SPA, and then discuss the findings with the lead team. So the end of that 4th day, here's what we're thinking. You got to look at what you want to target. Is it OEE? Is it throughput? Is it problem solving? Is it condition monitoring? Is it efficiency of the crafts? What's the waste at your plant? And this is why it's a little difficult to give a generic answer. What's the waste at your plant? So that's the end of the site visit, end of week 1. Roughly, that's a 5-day issue at most locations. So from that, I would orchestrate a lead team Kaizen where the lead team would be an experience created for them. Remember, experiences lead to culture change. So need the entire lead team, production. This is not a maintenance activity. Engineering, HR, controller, all those people involved in the culture change experience. Day 1, obviously travel to wherever you're at in the world. And then day 1 would be some lead team training on what rules and use are, what the 7 forms of waste are, how to observe. And that's just about 2.5 hours most of the time. And then days 2, 3, and 4 are identical. Those are under the guidance of a coach to observe. So I would work with your team, hopefully, and get about 3 coaches to go along with me. So that's 4 coaches, and then we can have 4 observers that go with those coaches. So 4 teams go out and observe. And then at the end of each day, at 3 p.m., whenever the end of the work shift is, your normal production maintenance shift, each one of those teams would get together and discuss common themes and share those with the group. So day 5, each group gets together and collects their common themes from those 3 days of observations. 3 days of observations, things will start to hone in around 4 or 5 thoughts. And then each one of the groups get together, the entire group gets together and hears those common themes, and then we'll try to bunch them together into what are our plant leverage points. And we'll probably end up with 4 or 5 common themes for the plant to go after. And then we'll brainstorm actions to go after in the next 30, 60, 90 days, specifically targeting things that don't take anybody else's opinion or approval, that's probably a better word, doesn't take money or anything significant money, and things we can easily do to get some wins to create those experiences so people can see change, and then we'll get that snowball effect. So that's the lead team Kaizen, okay? Action number 4 is every 4 weeks. I would return to your site for about 3 days to hear what the problems, help you work through obstacles. I've been there before. I doubt if you'll surprise me a lot. So working through those issues, and then observe more to verify that some changes are actually going in place and maybe suggest some additional countermeasures to prevent some problems. And number 5, I said, hey, Joe's available for phone calls in between these sessions, so we got the first 2 weeks, the site visit, and then the Kaizen, and then every month, 3 days come back. I'm available for phone calls. No long-term contract, and you cancel at any time you're not satisfied. And then, number 7, I got, if you're not 100% satisfied after the initial site visit where I come on site and kind of lay out a draft plan, if you're not satisfied with that, you don't pay anything for my labor rate for that week. You just pay my expenses to get to where you are. Anyway, we really got nothing to lose if you choose to go that path. So, hey, the vast majority of you in the audience I'm really trying to connect with are people that just want to learn from these videos. You can obviously do this intervention yourself. It's not that complicated. You can get pointers from me via email or comments on this YouTube video. Or you can reach out to me and have an experienced guide work you through that. I'm confident I could shave years and off your deployment if you were to do that. Again, if you like what you're hearing, hit subscribe and please leave a comment. Thanks.